So going into the employee benefit space, let's talk about that trial by fire. Let's talk about like what did that mean? How did that? Was it intimidating? Was it scary after you got past it? Like, how did you feel once you got over the hump? Because employee benefits is also a space where we hear about life insurance. People think about getting a license. I get my life insurance license. I'm gonna go write some life insurance. So even I get my property and casualty license. I'm gonna go write some homeowners and auto. But employee benefits, that's not one.
Yeah.
That's not one that's talked about
Mm-hmm.
as much. So what was your experience like, kind of going into that first case and getting that done?
Right. Well, and I think to your point exactly, because it wasn't, and you don't really talk about it a lot, it was eye-opening for me being somebody that really likes to learn, but to learn the medical, dental, vision, life on the group aspect, side of it, man, that was exciting to me. But then more so, I think, and where my passion in this business comes from is realizing how those things affect each and every employee differently. And that's really what got me to dive in. Like, okay, you can have this one PPO plan I'm using, for example, but literally every employee and every family is going to operate and use that differently. And really, when you're sitting across from somebody or sitting next to somebody, and this was all pre-COVID stuff when you can meet with people and everything else, right? It was amazing to sit down and explain something to somebody. Okay, this is how this plan is going to work. Oh, you got 3 kids. Okay, this is how this plan is going to work for those 3 kids, and see that light bulb moment go off for people. And it's like, oh, okay, I got it. Boom, boom, boom. Man, that's the part that I really enjoy. That whole education piece.
Yeah.
Really helping people understand not just to have a benefit, but this is how you maximize the benefit.
That's right.
So, so for me, that's what really got me into it and really helped me dive into it even more so. And that's what I say. And I think that's really what spurred the whole me getting more educated in the piece. But I love the fact of seeing people have that light bulb moment.
Yeah.
How you don't just go through open enrollment, read the papers and like, oh, okay, yeah, I got a benefit. But no, man, this is how your benefit and why your benefit works for you. So I think that was more important to me on the group side with employee benefits.
Absolutely. One of the catalysts for this platform and why I say you should get a license is because, not only are you empowered with that information, but you empower others with information that they can utilize for themselves. So yeah, that like seeing people, kind of get it and understand what it is that you're saying definitely goes a long way. Oh, yeah. So, now at this stage, you talked, kind of about your beginning, just kind of starting and running that. How did you get to the phase where, okay, now I'm going to take it on, not just from a strategic and a consulting standpoint divisionally, but I'm going to really take on all aspects of the business from a leadership and management standpoint and really just assume like all the operations. How did you move into that space?
Well, I think for me, again, going back to just me naturally as a person, right? That was always the goal.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I've always had those big dreams and big visions. And I've always been one, as I said earlier, man, I never wanted to be the smartest guy in the boat. And I never wanted to be the one that everything centered around me. So it was always the goal to sort of be bigger, be stronger, and sort of do what we're doing now. So by God's grace, it has always come to pass. But I think too, it's about leaving a legacy, right?
Yeah.
And my dad, was able to leave a legacy with me. And I tell people all the time, whereas, he started off on the 1-yard line, I've been blessed to, okay, well, I maybe started off on the 25 or the 30. Mm-hmm. So my goal is now to leave it in a place and space where, okay, the person's come behind me, and whether that's one of my kids or whomever, okay, maybe you can start at the 50.
Yeah.
Maybe you can start at the 60 and grow it even further. So I think for me, it was always the goal to be more of that leader, to be more of the visionary and whatnot. And I think that goes back to also ego. Mm-hmm. And I say this very cautionary because everybody is not in that place in space. If you want to be the head honcho, you want to be the boss, you want to be that person that everybody comes to, and you want to have everybody pin all the medals on you, then just know what comes with that.
That's right.
a lot of long nights, a lot of long days and everything else. And I'm not saying I don't work hard on my days not long as well, but I've just been one, and especially in the place and space where I'm at now, Rod, well, man, I want to be impactful with my career.
Yeah.
You know, I want to create opportunities for others. I want to be able to collaborate and connect with brothers like yourself, and do things that move the needle in our community, you know, that do things that move the needle in our industry. So that's just, but again, that's just been my mentality. My mentality was never to be, you know, this one man conglomerate. It was always to be a bigger conglomerate, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even speaking to the legacy piece, you know, how you mentioned, hey, it started with your dad, you kind of picked it up, took it to the next level. You know, I remember when I was out there, you had your son in the agency. Like, what does that mean to you? Like, how does that like kind of come full circle for you to have him in the office with you?
Right. You call it the Hakuna Matata, the circle of life, whatever you want to call my thing. But, you know, and again, he sort of grew up in the business because, you know, we had it ever since he's been born. And so, you know, he's done things where, you know, I bring him in the office before we drop him off at school, and he's always known it. But it wasn't until he was finishing up his first year, we gave him an internship this summer, and he came into the business, and man, it was cool. It was amazing to have him there. Like, and I think, but 2 weeks into his internship, he came home one day and he just talking. He said, "Man, Dad, I finally get it. Man, y'all work hard. Like now, he said, I finally see when you talk about when you come home, you just like, shh, I'm spending." He's like, "I get it now." And so to hear him say that, and then to sort of find his niche as he did his 14-week internship, you know, which it was cool to see him just get a better understanding of what I do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
You know, was cool. Like I told him, your internship was not about you diving into insurance. I don't want to pressure you into, quote unquote, you got to be the next generation of this, whatever the case may be, because obviously, you know, I want him to be able to find his own way. And if it is insurance, then great. If it's not, what I want him to know is that insurance gave you the options to be able to do what
there you go.
You know, and have that flexibility and freedom. But, you know, I'm proud to say now, man, he's going back to school, but he's working with the agency now. You know, he found his niche. He started doing social media for us, and it took off. You know, and so now we offered him a role. So he's our social media content creator. And so he's going to do that while he's in school. It's funny. I had a call with him earlier today about his role. And so we had a good call. And I said, okay, every Monday we're going to have a call. So it's just cool to now still have him connected, you know, and still have him doing that. So overall, man, that was probably the crowning best thing of my whole entire summer, to just see him do that, to see him earn. And again, not to have some token position, but like he worked, you know, and see him find a position and then realize that, okay, yeah, I want to do this even while I'm in school, getting my education. Absolutely. I'm like, that's cool, sir.
Absolutely, man. Hey, man, that's a testament to you. That's a testament to your dad. I mean, you know, you guys have just a special energy like about you. You know, and it's felt, you know, it's felt there. So just, you know, congratulations, you know, on that. And it's exciting to see, you know, when that story continues, you know what I mean, so to speak. And it's exciting to see, you know, just the expansion that you're making right now. I want to talk about that, because I want to talk about like what's motivating you right now, like what's driving you forward, because as we're speaking, you know, your home office is in Las Vegas, but as we're speaking, you're in St. Louis. Yep. For another event. What's pushing Quincy Branch right now?
Well, right. We have a saying in our office, and I started saying this, man, probably maybe like 7-8 years ago. And literally want to take over the world one insurance policy at a time. You know, for all my old school peeps that know the pinky in the brain, they used to wake up every morning and say, "What are we gonna do today, Pinky? Oh, we're gonna take over the world, one insurance."
Right.
You know, and so I just played off of that. But really, you know, so the journey has evolved, right? So when we first started, it was all about, okay, the grind of growth. Okay, how do we do this? You know, over the last 11 years, we've done about 9 merger and acquisition transactions. To your point, like we mentioned earlier, we got 3 locations so far. We got clients from California to DC, but So now as it is evolved, it's more so now, you talk about what drives me, is that how to be impactful. How can I make a difference in my community, first and foremost? All of our locations and all of our agencies, we know that's one of the things that we're going to do. We have an employee-led community engagement resource group that we do things every quarter. We want to make sure that we get out in the community. We have, and I'm here actually in St. Louis, we have a partnership with our historically Black college out here in St. Louis, Harris Stowe University, where we have a scholarship in the name of our agency out here that we're going to donate to athletes that are in business and that are in the athletic department to help them with their books or whatever the case may be. So again, community impact is important to me, but then also impact within our business. You know this, I know this, there are not a lot of minorities in the insurance space. And so being in a position that I am in, that I can actually have my hand to affect change, and I can hire people that look like us, give them an opportunity that maybe they wouldn't have gotten in some other space, is really important for me. But then I mentioned it earlier, our agency, at the end of the day, this to be the case where, we got to sell insurance. That's what we do. That's what we do. We got to sell it. But the same way that I have that passion about education, that's the same thing that we put into our agencies. Man, we want to be true advisors. We want to educate our clients. So if that means we got to sell one less policy to make sure that we sell a quality policy and we educate and we partner with that client, then that's what it's all about. So I think for me right now, that's what it's all about, man, driving impact. How can we really be impactful in our space? How can we partner, with people that are brilliant in their spaces to do bigger work? Because I think at some point, we can all, how you put that? Like, we can all be individual light bulbs and shine bright, but man, when we come together, like we can actually blind and block some people and do some things and truly inspire. And that's really what it's all about right now for me.
Absolutely. And I feel that, and I know what you're saying is 100% from your heart.